juice like a snow cone. Ice in my veins and a cold flow. I'm getting cash overseas by the boatload. You wanna ride my wave? That's a no-go. Senoritas going loco.
and I request all of you to kindly keep your mobile phones in silent. A very good morning to the esteemed guests, speakers, organizers, participants, and everyone present here. Coming together is beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. It is my privilege to welcome you to the inaugural event of the International Conference on Information and Communication Systems 2025. I am Audrey Allen, Assistant Professor from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Without further ado, let's dive into our promising schedule today. Prayer is a steering wheel that directs the right path. Let's unite our minds and souls in the presence of God to seek His abundant blessings. I invite Maya ji for the invocation.
ದಯ ಮಾಡೆ ತಾಯಿ ವಾಗ್ದೇವಿ ದಯದಿಂದ ನೀಯನ್ನ ನೋಡೆ ವಾಗ್ದೇವಿ ಸುಮುಖಿ ತ್ವಚ್ಚರಣಾಬ್ಜ ಧ್ರುಮಚಾಯ ಶ್ರಿತಜ ಸುಮತಿಗಳೊಳಗಿಟ್ಟು ಮಮತೆಂ ಸಲಹೆ ಜಗನ್ನಾಥ ವಿಠಲನ ಅಂಗ್ರಿಗಳ ಸೇವೆಯೋಳು ಜಗನ್ನಾಥ ವಿಠಲನ ಅಂಗ್ರಿಗಳ ಸೇವೆಯೋಳು ಸುಗುಣೆ ಸನ್ಮತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬೇಗನೆ ಸಲಹೆ ದಯ ಮಾಡೆ ತಾಯಿ ವಾಗ್ದೇವಿ ದಯದಿಂದ ನೀಯನ್ನ ನೋಡೆ ವಾಗ್ದೇವಿ Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. To set the tone for today's conference, I am honored to invite Dr. Chandrasekhar M. Patil, Professor and Head, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to formally welcome the August gathering.
A very good morning, one and all present here. It is with immense pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the inaugural function of ICICS 2025. It is truly a privilege to share this occasion with such a distinguished assembly of individuals. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Professor Naukant Bhatt, Department of Electrical Communication Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. Your presence here adds a great significance to our event, and we are deeply honored. A warm welcome to you, sir. We also have with us Professor Pratyosh P., Department of Electrical Communication Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. Your presence today enriches this event. A warm welcome to you, sir. I am pleased to welcome our Honorable President, Shri Gundappa Gowda. Your guidance and strategic leadership have been pivotal in shaping the direction and success of our institution. A warm welcome to you, sir. I also extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Secretary, Engineer P. Vishwanath. Your organizational acumen and commitment to excellence are truly commendable in their absence. A warm welcome to Sri Shaila Ramanan, our Honorable Treasurer, Vidyavartaka Sangha Mysuru. A warm welcome in their absence. We are also delighted to welcome our beloved Principal, Dr. B. Sadashiva Gowda. Your leadership and vision have been instrumental in guiding to reach a new heights. A warm welcome you, sir. I extend a very warm welcome to the Vice Principal, Dr. Shobha Shankar, a constant support in organizing this conference. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. I would also like to welcome Dr. Nagaraj BG, Associate Dean, Research and Coordinator of the conference. A warm welcome you, sir. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all the deans, heads of various departments, and session chairs of today's conference. Welcome you all. I also welcome to my dear colleague friends and all the participants from different institutions. Together, we have gathered here eagerly to embark on this journey with all of you. Thank you. Thank you all for being here and for contributing to the success of this conference. Once again, a warm welcome to each one of you present here. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the organizing committee, I wholeheartedly welcome you too. As a symbol of growth, nurturing, and our commitment to the environment, we have chosen to commence today's event with a ceremonial watering of the plant. This act signifies our collective dedication to fostering growth, sustainability, and a brighter future for all of us. To formally inaugurate this conference, I would like to invite our esteemed dignitaries to water the plant. Thank you all. One of the most significant moments of our conference is the release of the proceedings. This document is a comprehensive completion of the research, insights, and knowledge shared during this event. It stands as a testament to the hard work and dedication of all the contributors and serves as a valuable resource for our community. To mark this special occasion, I request all the dignitaries to officially release the proceedings of the International Conference on Information and Communication Systems, ICICS 2025. Thank you all. As we gather on this significant occasion, it is essential to set the context and provide an overview of what we aim to achieve during this conference. I request Dr. Nagaraj Biji, Conference Coordinator, Associate Dean, Faculty Research, to give us a comprehensive overview of this conference, its objectives, and the statistics of this conference.
Good morning, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. Welcome to International Conference on Information and Communication Systems, ICICS 2025, organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysuru. It gives me immense pleasure to address this esteemed gathering at ICICS 2025, which brings together brilliant minds from around the globe. This conference focuses on the rapid strides and technological advancements currently witnessed in the field of electronics and communication engineering, computer science, information science, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and finally, electrical and electronics engineering. We are proud to share that we received 654 papers from researchers worldwide. After a rigorous review process, we could able to accept 165 papers, roughly 25% acceptance rate. The conference is being conducted in a hybrid mode, allowing greater participation and flexibility. Notably, we have received 19 foreign authors papers from countries such as Philippines, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, Peru, and many others, reflecting the conference global reach. Additionally, we have 72 papers from 18 different states across India, including Maharashtra, Odisha, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Gujarat, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, and more. The integrity of the review process has been maintained through a blinded review system with expert reviews from reputed institutes and industries. We ensure the highest academic standard by considering plagiarism and artificial intelligence AI score threshold we have set of 20% verified using Turnitin software. We are delighted to announce that all the accepted and presented papers will be included in Scopus indexed conference proceedings by Taylor and Francis within 6 months from the date of the conference. Finally, I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to our magnanimous management for their unwavering support, our beloved principal, vice principal, and head of the department for their guidance and encouragement, and to everyone who contributed to making this conference a grand success. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for that overview. Knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society and in every family. True to which, on this occasion, we are extremely delighted to have the eminent scholar, a powerhouse of knowledge, our chief guest, Professor Naukant Bhatt, from the Department of Electrical Communication Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He is a renowned educationalist whose work has inspired countless students and educators. May I now request Dr. Ashok Rao to come forward and introduce our esteemed chief guest to the gathering.
Yeah, namaskara elrigu. You look aged now, can't now. It's been a very long, very impressive track record. I know IAC for 40 years and I have heard stories of the previous 40 years. So in the last 80 years, I know nobody can match the track record that Naukant Bhatt has established there. Very impressive. Many of you have visited his nano facility, one of the best facilities created anywhere in India, comparable with or even better than many of the things abroad. And that's just a beginning. And I'm sure in another year, we should be able to see the famous first research hospital in India. And I know Naukant is playing a key role in establishing that. And I don't know, the budget has crossed 2,000 crores maybe now. And one man who can deliver for every paisa vasool means give it to Naukant Bhatt. Yeah, that's really what it is. So happy to see you, Naukant, here. And I'm sure more glory days are ahead. He has a much younger to me, of course. Okay, so that apart, I mean, it's like introducing Arjuna before the Mahabharata war. So that's really what Naukant is, the most, impressive and down-to-earth, humble, reachable, accommodative. I mean, all the parameters you look for in a fine human being, you see him. And thank you for gracing this, Naukant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It is indeed an honor to have such a distinguished educationalist with us today. May I now request our chief guest, Professor Naukant Bhatt, to address the gathering.
Namaskara, elrigo. Dignitaries on the dais and faculty colleagues and students. It's indeed a pleasure to come here. Thanks, Dr. Ashok, for pulling me here. 5 years ago, I think I had come here and I was just remarking to the principal that over the last 5 years, a lot of developments have happened here. I understand that, there is a phenomenal support from the management and of course, well-wishers like Dr. Ashok Rao who continue to mentor. I think the students, you're all in extremely good hands. I've known Dr. Ashok Rao for, I don't know, for 3 decades now. In fact, he also played an instrumental role in when I was deciding where to go for my master's after my engineering, whether to IISc or IIT Bombay. He said, go to IIT Bombay, right? So that's the history since then. But I've known since then, I think it's been, very, very nice journey, Ashok, walking all this along with you over the years. Something I want to mention, today's conference is, of course, on information and communication, perhaps the 2 key words which define the society today, information and communication. That is one side of the story. The other side of the story, I mean, perhaps this is routine here. Today, for the first time, I saw a conference inaugurated by watering a plant. Okay, of course, we inaugurate conferences by lighting lamp, which is, of course, a very important symbol in Indian tradition. But watering the plant also is I think equally or even more important, right? Of course, you have water and earth there. Of course, tree comes out. There's many, many symbols there, right? And what we do here in Educational Institute is really watering tomorrow's trees, that is students, right? You need to have the right environment, right? You need to have mannu sari irbeku, neer sari irbeku, of course. And only when you have all of that, right, you will have a healthy plant coming out. But that's just one aspect of it, right? Of course, in Panchabhuta, they're all part of it. But also, if you think about it, this is all, I'm just sort of thinking about this as I'm standing here in front of you. We are at sort of turning point today, in the way our civilization will go. I mean, not just you, me, as individual, what will happen tomorrow, will I get a job? That's one part of the story, right? I mean, if you think about it, today we are talking of what is called an artificial intelligence, right? And we are also talking about, going to Mars, right? You keep hearing these stories, and of course, India is not far behind. We have ISRO, which is doing great things in terms of technology, right? We have been able to go on the moon, right? At perhaps a fraction of the cost at which others have done it. And this will continue, and very soon we will have many Indians doing the spacewalk. I mean, you have heard Sunita Williams doing that, setting a record recently. In fact, all these astronauts who will go on, they were all at IISc doing their masters MTech by research. And we are making strides, and you have this happening, we're thinking of conquering, newer worlds. But at the same time, when it comes to communication, we are also losing, I think, even communicating with our near and dear ones, right? We're talking of communicating with, people far off and, maybe planets and some other places. We need to also be grounded, right? That's very, very important. The symbolism there also means that the plant has to be grounded, right? I mean, otherwise it cannot grow tall, right? So, what you need to be able to do going forward, of course, you need to continue to acquire newer knowledge. You are in a place which provides you that kind of environment, but be grounded, right? Think about the society that has brought you where you are till today, and various institutions that have contributed in making you what you are today. Remember this, when I say be grounded, when you reach newer heights, 5, 10, 20 years down the line, remember your alma mater, come back here, contribute. Remember the place where you grew up. It's very, very important, because you see, At the end of the day, we can't have an unequitable growth in the society, and that will lead to a lot of problems. And that is where the theme of this conference is equally important: information and communication. You see, technology is a great leveler. Today we say that we have bridged the digital divide. You know, every street vendor, every villager has a mobile phone. At the touch of the button, they can, you know, query any information, right? You know, that is a kind of revolution the technology can bring in. You know, many students may not even remember to make a phone call. You have to walk away to a post office or a telephone booth. And today you have a phone in your hand. You can actually not just make a call, but you can do many things, right? So this is a kind of opportunity. And in terms of information, you know, again, information storage, processing, artificial intelligence, there will be many revolutions that will come about. Even in communication, there will be many revolutions, right? And you will all be part of defining that future, right? After you complete your engineering and go forward, right? But think about the fact that the development, you know, has to be equitable development, right? You know, and you all have a role to play there, right? So just taking the symbolism from how we started this conference today, I would urge you to keep that in mind. I wish you all the very best. You know, if you're thinking about whether this is the best area, electronics, communication, every area is the best area. You will get a job. If you are good, you will get a job, right? So I think, you know, engineering is all about creating things, right? You know, you can really create a new world, right? So I hope that you will really, you know, create a one of its kind new world in the years to come, where, you know, there is opportunity for everybody and there is an equitable growth, and, you know, everybody will prosper. And wish you all the best, and I hope that the conference will have great next 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your insightful speech. Today, we also have with us Professor Pratosh AP from the Department of Electrical Communication Engineering, IISc Bangalore, as our chief guest. A highly respected academician and a researcher, he continues to inspire and shape the future of many. May I once again request Dr. Ashok Rao to introduce our esteemed chief guest to the gathering.
Another happy occasion for me to introduce the Abhimanyu of Mahabharata. He has just successfully navigated the Chakravyuha of publication and patents and other things that all of us are caught in. I'm not caught in that, okay? And he has done it remarkably well. So the story slightly changes from Mahabharata. Abhimanyu actually comes back and he's alive and doing well. Amazing character, a homegrown product. Navkant builds the facts, Princeton graduate and doing many startups and doing well. Pratosh is the antithesis of that, a homegrown JC to IISc, and he has done remarkably well without going to Princeton. So he has broken the myth that you have to go there only and do well, even though many have done like Navkant. So the future lies in both models. Pratosh has done interesting thing in the sense that so committed, he went and joined IIT Delhi, did his career for about 3.5, 4 years. Again came back, started climbing the ladder in IISc from the bottom rung again. Not many would venture to such things. But we had a discussion, I said maybe you should just become associate professor there and then try shifting. But I'm glad he did that. It wouldn't have happened otherwise. He's about the best known name in machine learning in India today. You would probably have seen his YouTube lectures. He's definitely regarded as one of the best teachers in the campus, and it's not easy to be recognized like that. Navkant is already an iconic figure, you know. He's not yet an icon, but he's already one of the best teachers recognized in the campus with 130 to 140, 160 students, registering for his course. And I'm sure he'll do well. He's young. He has a very long career ahead of him. I wish him well, and I look forward to even better things. And as an anecdote, Professor Naukant maybe missed something. When he was selected in IAC, evening his selection committee chairman came. We had a coffee and we were talking. He said, Ashok, I was so tempted not to select Naukant Bhatt in IAC because he wanted him in IIT Bombay. So that's how impressive these people are. They are about the two best people in ENC discipline in the country today. We are so glad that both of them are here. I don't know whether they spend time together in the department together, sitting side by side, but here is a good opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that introduction. We are honored to have him here with us today. May I now request Professor Pratosh AP to address the gathering.
Good morning, all of you. Yeah. So first of all, thanks BBC's management for having me here. So I grew up in Mysore. It's always a pleasure I never miss an opportunity to come to Mysore, right? So travel the world, but no place like Mysore. So honestly, I was talking to Professor Rao today morning that when I'm in Mysore, it feels very refreshing actually. Even if it's for a day, I never miss a trip to Mysore. So it's such a place. I don't know, how many of you are actually from Mysore, but it just grows on you. And if, especially if you grow up in the city, it's very hard to not keep coming here. So thank you, BBC management, for having me here for a day. So yeah, Professor Rao compared me aptly to Abhimanyu in Mahabharata. You know the story, right? The guy does not make out of Chakravyuha, right? So that way you know how many people attacked him, and we are actually stuck that way. So I think it just came out of your mouth very aptly, I suppose. Still not out of that Chakravyuha. Perhaps some maybe the story changes and I'd be out of it. Yeah, so as Professor Naukant Bhatt was fondly remembering, I too have a fond memory with Professor Rao. In fact, when I was studying in JC, I think he was just there or just left that place, but we all heard a lot of honestly scary stories about you. That So if I remember, I met him first while I was traveling to Bangalore. I think I was a student at ISC and I was going to Bangalore, and I met him in one of my train journeys, and the man was indeed scary. Yeah, it was very hard to approach him and talk. Me being the kind of adventurous person that I was, I made that stride and I struck a conversation with him. And from that day onwards, from being a man who is very difficult to approach, now we are friends. So every single thing that happens in my life, be it academic, personal, everything, we have a conversation with him and we take decisions. So thanks a lot for being that mentor that you are so far. Okay, so the conference is about information and communication systems, and you all know what AI is doing, right? If you don't know, you better know that, because it's not a joke. The world is actually going through a very, very serious major transformation right now. In fact, I should remember a small anecdote. Einstein had a teacher, a mathematician as a teacher by name Minkowski. Okay, so he did not have a very good opinion of Einstein when Einstein was a student, but it is ascribed to Minkowski that when he was nearing his death, Einstein has just come up with the special theory of relativity. And Minkowski said to his students and his colleagues that, here is a moment that I am regretting my death, because I am dying in a moment where the world is about to change. And he says, I wish all of you, he says to all of his students, that I wish all of you have this kind of a moment, that just when you are dying, you regretfully die seeing that the world is actually changing in front of you and you are not a part of it, right? Fortunately, we are young, and the transformation that we are seeing right now is a phenomenal transformation, okay? So I compare it with the industrial revolution or the renaissance that happened in Europe. So if you recall what happened around 15th, 16th century, people who had a lot of muscular power were being considered powerful, right? Because they could move things around, and they can lift objects and all this, isn't it? Come industrial revolutions and machines came, all those people who had a lot of muscular power went out of job, because machines could do it 100x better, right, with much more efficiency. So that moment has come to human intelligence these days. In fact, I keep saying that human intelligence is overrated. We think that we are very good because we are intellectually capable, and we think as human. Why do we think we are better than all the other animals out there? Because we think that we are intellectually superior, isn't it? But I think the industrial revolution or the Renaissance moment for human intelligence has come now. I don't know if you people have used some of these AI agents. If you have not, please start using it. All your exam question papers and assignments and everything, all you need to do is take a picture of it and give it to Claude or Quen or GPT or anything. It will solve it for you much better than all of your teachers combinedly do it. I mean, I myself being a teacher. In fact, I've done this pedagogical experiment always, that every time I create a question paper, I would make sure that I'd give it to GPT and ask it to solve. Right? So if I can create a question, the Turing test for myself is that if I can create a question paper that the GPT cannot answer, then it's probably a better question paper. It's very hard, by the way. It's very, very hard, by the way. So the so-called intellectual superiority that we thought we would have and we would thrive upon is just gone. Okay? I also happen to build a few companies, right, as startups around it, and these things are phenomenally powerful, right? So all the news that you would see around saying that AI will take over software engineering jobs and all that, it's very, very real. Okay, see, imagine that I was talking to one of my friends, corporate colleagues, and he was telling me that it's such a boon to us that here you have an employee, a software engineer, who would do designs for you, okay, who would iterate thousands of times without cribbing that I've been given job multiple times. He was talking about an AI agent. So imagine that you have an AI employee that would never complain to you, right? So you ask it to write codes 1,000 times, it will write 1,000 times. Ask it to iterate over the code millions of times, it will do it without complaining. So isn't it the best employee that you can have? Right? So that is going to come. So I think, just like, I don't know, there's a term for it, I keep forgetting. When the machines came, the physical machines came, there was a group of these people who were very physically powerful. They're called something, I forget the name. So these people went on to destroy those machines. They were crushing those engineering machines because they thought that these will take off their jobs, right? Fear-mongers. Similarly, there is a time, we are actually living in the time where skills that we thought were very, very relevant a decade ago are no longer relevant today. Okay, so we need to rediscover ourselves as human race, right? I'm sure. See, one silver lining amongst all this is that we human beings are very good at adapting. That is why we have survived the planet for so long. We will adapt. Something will emerge, but there will be a small epochal time where a lot of people, would sort of struggle through that adaptation process, and we should not be such people who would struggle. So the best way to do it is to be extremely conversant on what's happening. At least you should be aware of what's happening around. Don't be completely ignorant to it, and don't turn a blind eye saying that, oh, there's something, people are talking. I see that it happens a lot, especially in places where there's not a lot of exposure. You would not get to see what's actually happening around in the world. So do not be oblivious to what's happening. So I see a lot of young students here. So at least you should be aware of what's happening around. So, I would of course tell you, urge you, and encourage you to go deeper into the technological nuances and detailing of what's happening and understand what's happening. If not that, at least be aware of what's happening, right? So one thing is for sure, knowing how to write good codes in Java is not going to make you thrive for decades to come. That's gone. Gone are those days. Okay, you cannot thrive on one skill, especially software engineering or writing codes, etc. Those gone are those days. So try to adapt, try to rediscover yourself, and be happy that you are a part of this phenomenal revolution that is happening. Okay, so it's very, very rare to witness such a kind of an occasion, right? I mean, century before people did not have this opportunity, and perhaps century later people will not have this opportunity. Now is the time where the transition is happening, and it's very exciting to see what's happening every day. Okay, so be happy that you are a part of it, and at the same time, don't miss out the opportunity. So be on your toes and try to understand what's happening in the technological world, right? So all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your thought-provoking speech. May I now request our beloved principal, Dr. B. Sadashivegowda, who has been a beacon of inspiration and a driving force behind this conference, to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. Today's chief guest, Professor Naukant Bhatt from Indian Institute of Science, Professor Pratosh, our Honorable President, Sri Gundappa Gowda, Dr. Shobha Shankar, the Vice Principal, Dr. C.M. Patil, the Professor and Head of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Dr. Nagraj, the Convener, and Dr. Professor Muhammad Anis, all my colleagues, all the distinguished invitees, and student friends. I think we have heard a lot from both chief guests, Professor Naukant Bhatt and also Professor Pratosh, that transformations that are happening around us. It appears scary, but it is real. All of us need to gear up to face these challenges. And we have this conference which is talking about information and communication systems. And as all of us know, it is an era of rapid technological advancements. Almost every day you can see one or other changes that are happening. Very recently, when the DeepSeek was announced, you could see the changes that happened in the US markets. Suddenly it fell. So every day, one or other companies is introducing disruptive technologies. And you should be ready to face these challenges. ICS, the information communication systems, transform the way we live, it transforms the way we work, and transform the way we interact with one another. And if you look at the 3G, 4G, 5G, and beyond, now we are talking about 6G, and also the IoT, where billions of devices are interconnected, and they talk to each other. You can see the transformative changes that are happening because of ICS. This digital revolution that Professor Pratosh mentioned has to be inclusive, because India, it is still a developing nation, and we want to become a developed nation by 2047. In order to happen, we have to ensure that everyone, from the rural to the urban, from all strata of life, should be included in this growth, which is very, very important. As engineers, all of us know we solve the problems. This is also a very, very important and pertinent problem that we need to ensure that everyone is included in this transformative change. With the emergence of 6G research, satellite-based internet, software-defined networking, the future is very, very promising. Because I believe that we need challenges, particularly the engineers. If there are no problems, I don't think engineers will have jobs. So the engineering community should ensure that there are challenges, there are problems, so that we will be able to solve them. So the future is very promising, even though AI is making inroads in almost every walk of life. But I'm certain that we'll be able to overcome and also challenge even AI, because the human brain is so powerful, it can challenge almost everything. It has happened in the history, we have seen that, and it is likely to happen in the future also. The most important challenges with ICS is data security, because you know that in IoT, the billions of units which are involved with interaction. It is very important that data security is very, very important. I think that is a big challenge the engineers should be able to solve. The other important challenge we have as engineers is energy efficiency. Look at so many devices, assume that they are not efficient. They consume so much of energy. And it is very, very difficult to produce so much of energy from the renewable sources of energy, because almost fossil fuel is depleting. We need to depend on the renewable energy. And it is very, very important that we develop, produce, manufacture, and also ensure their maintenance, which are very, very less energy consumption. So it is going to be a challenge. And also the other one is digital inclusivity. We have to ensure that everyone is included in this growth. Then only India can become prosperous, even the world can become prosperous, and a developed country and a developed world. So I believe that this conference, where we collaborate both industry and academia, and also among the academic institutions, it is very, very important. And all the thought leaders are going to discuss the next 2 days the important changes that are happening in this domain, and how we can contribute to the growth of knowledge, how we can create knowledge. Because it is important that as engineers, we must create more and more knowledge that benefits the society. I believe this conference is going to help every one of us to strengthen our knowledge, improve networking, and also contribute to the creation of more and more knowledge that benefits the society. I wish all of you all the best on this occasion. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request Shri Gundappa Gowda, Honorable President, Vidyavardhaka Sangha, Mysuru, to deliver the presidential address.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಅಖಂಡ ಮಂಡಲಾಕಾರಂ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಂ ಚರಾಚರಂ ತತ್ಪದಂ ದರ್ಶಿತಮೇನ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುವೇ ನಮಃ. ಈ ದಿನದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ನವಾಕಾಂತ್ ಭಟ್ರವರೇ, ಪ್ರತೂಸ್ ಎ ಪಿ ಅವರೇ, ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಸದಾಶಿವಗೌಡರೇ, ಉಪಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶೋಭಾಶಂಕರ್ ಅವರೇ, ವಿಭಾಗದ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿ ಎಂ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ರವರೇ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗರಾಜ್ರವರೇ, ಆಹ್ವಾನಿತ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರೇ, ಮಹಾಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೇ, ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರೇ, ವಿದ್ಯಾವರ್ತಕ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ 1997ರಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಕೆ ಪುಟ್ಟಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾವುಕಾರ ಚೆನ್ನೈನವರು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದರು. ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿ, ಅದು ತಿಮ್ಮಿಯಾರ್ ಛತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿ 1974ರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶವನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಪಡೆದು ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೆ ಪುಟ್ಟಸ್ವಾಮಿಯವರು ಅವರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದರು. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು 1997ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜು ಅಲ್ಲಿ 27 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಭಾಳ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನ ಒಂದು ದಿನದ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ಇವತ್ತು ತಜ್ಞರನ್ನು ಕರೆಸಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ತಮಗಾಗಲೇ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾವರ್ಧಕ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿರುವ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂವಹನ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಕುರಿತಾದ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನ ICICS 2025 ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ, ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ, ಕೃತಕ ಬುದ್ಧಿಮತ್ತೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂವಹನ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಕಂಡುಬರುತ್ತಿರುವ ತ್ವರಿತ ಪ್ರಗತಿ ಮತ್ತು ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಪ್ರಗತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನವು ಉದಯೋನ್ಮುಖ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞರು, ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸರು, ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಉದ್ಯಮದ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠತೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರದರ್ಶಿಸುವ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಈ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನವು ಜಾಗತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧವಾದ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ವೃತ್ತಿಪರರಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮರನ್ನು ಒತ್ತುಗೂಡಿಸುವ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನ ತಜ್ಞರನ್ನು ಕೂಡಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. 1947ಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸವೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ರಾ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ಬೋದು, ಕಬ್ಬಿಣದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟಿದ್ರೂ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕಬ್ಬಿಣ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ ಟಾಟಾದವರು ನೀವು ಹೊರದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಕಬ್ಬಿಣ ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಹಡಗಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾನು ಕಬ್ಬಿಣದನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಟಾಟಾ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜನ್ನು ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈಗ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲೂ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶ ಮುಂದಿದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಭಾಳ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಮುಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. 2045 ಇಸ್ವಿಗೆ ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಣ್ಣ ಆಶಾಭಾವನೆಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಈಗಿನ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿಯವರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಮೀರಿ ಈ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಾವು ತೊಡಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಎರಡು ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Thank you, sir. As we near the conclusion of this inaugural ceremony, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this event possible. I request Dr. Shobha Shankar, Vice Principal, Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries on the days, off the days, faculty members, distinguished delegates, and my dear students. The vibration of gratitude attracts more positive thoughts into our lives. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks on this inaugural function of International Conference on Information and Communication Systems 2025. I would like to express my profound gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Professor Navkant Bhatt, Department of Electrical Communication Engineering, IISc Bangalore, for kindly accepting our invitation and gracing the inaugural function. Thank you, sir, for your insightful thoughts. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Professor Pratosh AP, Department of Electrical Communication Engineering, IISc Bangalore, for gracing the occasion and for your thoughts on artificial intelligence. Thank you, sir. I wish to express my gratitude to Shri Gundappa Gowda, Honorary President, Vidyavardhaka Sangha, for delivering presidential address and inspiring us by his words of wisdom. Thank you, sir. My deep sense of gratitude to our beloved Principal Dr. B. Sadashivagada for being the catalyst in stimulating us to do our best and standing as pillar of strength. Thank you, sir. I wish to thank Dr. C.M. Patil, Professor and Head, Department of ECE, whose guidance and mentorship was pivotal for the success of this conference. Thank you, sir. My deep regards to Dr. Nagaraja Biji, the coordinator of this conference, whose dedication and coordination was crucial to the success of this conference. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the deans, heads of the department for the gracious presence. Thank you. I take this opportunity to thank the reviewers, session chairs, who have contributed significantly for the success of this conference. Thank you, everyone. My deep regards to the organizing committee members, teaching and non-teaching staff of the Department of ECE, student volunteers for their untiring support in making this event a successful one. Thank you all. My special thanks to all the distinguished delegates for their participation in this conference. And I would also like to express my sincere thanks to our friends in the press and media for the coverage of today's event. As we conclude, let us take the knowledge and connections we have gained here and continue to drive innovation and excellence in our respective fields. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of the organizing committee, I wholeheartedly thank you. Thank you. Kindly note that we will have the keynote address by our chief guest at 11:15 a.m. The keynote address by Professor Naukant Bhatt is at C block in room number C209 and by Professor Pratosh AP at A block boardroom. I request all of you to kindly attend the keynote address. Thank you.